Big up everyone. What is happening? The Liverpool Prophet back again with another match preview, people. Hope everyone is doing well. This is a big week coming up in Liverpool season. This will depend whether we actually win a trophy this season, despite how bad we've been, or whether we're going to go trophyless. So it's a huge week, a big task ahead, a big task ahead. Let's not underestimate how hard tomorrow's going to be and how difficult of a game it will be against the quality opposition. But yeah, Liverpool versus Paris Saint-Germain, the second leg of the Champions League quarter-final will take place tomorrow at Anfield. I'm here to give you guys my thoughts and feelings on the game. I'm going to give you guys my predicted starting 11 for the game. And at the end of the video, before we close up, I will be giving you guys my score prediction for the game as well. So yeah, before we get into it, people, do remember, if you are new to the channel, do drop a like on the match preview. Do sub to the channel, it's much appreciated. Turn notifications on so you know whenever future content drops. And Liverpool supporters, get down below in the comment section and let me know your thoughts and feelings going into tomorrow's game. Always interested to hear what other Liverpool fans have to think and how they feel. So yeah, having said all that, let's get straight into the match preview for tomorrow's game. So Liverpool versus Paris Saint-Germain at Anfield. Let's be honest, guys, that first leg was absolutely terrible. Now, the scoreline would suggest we weren't too bad. We kept it tight and it was only 2-0. But if you go back and watch the game, if you go back and watch that game, Liverpool got torn a new one. We went to Paris Saint-Germain and we got absolutely torn a new one. They dominated the game. They had 74% of the ball to our 26%. It was just all them. We couldn't get a sniff. We didn't have a sniff. We were just really bad. Scoreline was only 2-0. Thanks to Mohamed making a couple of good saves, because defensively we were getting cut open like a hot knife through butter. But Mohamed stepped up, made a couple of good saves and kept the score at 2-0. Otherwise, if it wasn't for him, this would have been over after that first leg, because it would have been 4-5-0. We were terrible, absolutely terrible. We went there to play 4-0 and take it back to Anfield for the second leg. And it didn't work because they were all over us, completely swarmed it. And again, they'll kick themselves that they only won the first leg 2-0. And that they didn't win by 3 or 4. That was due to, of course, Mohamed like I said, and also them probably not being as clinical as they probably should have been and expected to be. So the first leg, it's no debate. They completely outclassed us, dominated us, deservingly won 2-0. Shows the level of quality, doesn't it, between how good they are and the way they play football and how well coached they are to how poor coached we are, how poorly coached we are, should I say. And the football we play compared to them is just night and day, isn't it? Arne Slot completely went back on his philosophy, his morals, went there to park the bus, and it's just quite frankly not good enough, is it? It's not good enough. So we got battered 2-0 last week, a respectable 2-0 considering how bad we were. Before that, got smoked 4-0 against City at the Etihad. But at the weekend, we had a decent result. We had a decent result at the weekend against Fulham. A much improved performance. Energy levels looked a lot better. Slot made a couple of changes that I think made the team a little bit more cohesive. 1-2-0. First half, we played some good stuff, got into some decent positions, scored 2 good goals, obviously. Second half, we slacked off quite a lot. We cannot afford to slack off like that in tomorrow's game, because we will get punished. Respectfully, the difference between a team like Fulham and a difference between a team like Paris Saint-Germain is night and day. So we can't afford to drop off like we did in the second half. But we played well, got ourselves a decent performance, a good win, a clean sheet. And it brings some confidence back into the team, hopefully. We're better off going into that game tomorrow, away at home to Paris Saint-Germain, off the back of a win and a bit of a feel-good factor. It's much better than going into the game off the back of a loss, because that's not something you want to do, is it? Let's be honest. So we won. Hopefully that gives us a bit of momentum going into this game and a bit of belief too. So that's a plus. As for the game tomorrow, look, if any English team is capable of turning this tie around, it's Liverpool. We know what our history is like in the Champions League, and we know what a European night at Anfield can do. Just go back to 2019, 3-0 down, going into that second leg at home against Barcelona, and we turned it around, won the game 4-0. So we are capable of turning this around 110%. The problem that I have, though, and I think a lot of you guys will agree, that team that won against Barcelona and Paris Saint-Germain, sorry, got my words mixed up there. That team that won against Barcelona back in 2019, it had the heart, it had the desire, it had the fight, the commitment, and it had that never say die attitude. along with a manager who had that never say die attitude in Jurgen Klopp. The team we had out on the pitch, if you remember, guys, there was no Mohamed Salah for the game. There was no Roberto Firmino for the game. Our front three was Shaqiri, Origi, and Mane. You know what I'm saying? And they all put in an absolute shift. The midfield, Wijnaldum was the hero that night. He scored 2 good goals. That team might not have been the most talented on paper, but my oh my were they so good, and my oh my did they work their socks off in that game. The belief was there, the will was there, the want was there, the commitment was there, and we overturned that. My issue is, does this Liverpool team have that same desire? Do we have that same fight, that grit, that determination, that want? Do we want to turn this around? Do we want to go out there and put in a performance? That's what I question going into this game. Because off the basis of our entire season so far, there's nothing I've seen that suggests we're going to turn this around. And a lot of games we've been hiding. There's been no fight, no desire, no commitment. And for me, that's the worst bit about this season when I look at us. You know, on paper, you'd say this Liverpool team is a lot more talented than that 2019 team that went through. But what's talent worth if you don't have the fight, the desire, the commitment? You know, I'd take that team back in 2019 every single day of the week over this current Liverpool side because they had balls. They represented the club well. They got what they mean to play for the club. Does this Liverpool team have that same desire, that hunger? That remains to be seen. That remains to be seen. Do they want it? Do we want it tomorrow? Paris Saint-Germain are coming, chilling. Let's be honest. They're coming to Anfield chilling. They're 2-0 up. They will have seen how bad we were in that first leg, and they'll be coming to Anfield thinking, okay, might be a little bit tougher. They're the home team. They might make it harder, but we're still confident we can come. You think Paris Saint-Germain are going to come and sit back on a 2-goal lead? Of course not. They're a team that always have the ball. They're a team that always go forward and attack a lot wherever they go. That's one thing I really like about them. You know what I mean? The way they play football is absolutely scintillating. So they're not going to come to Liverpool, to Anfield with fear, especially with the way we've been this season. You really think Paris Saint-Germain aren't clued up on how bad we've been this year? They will know. They'll be very, very clued up on how bad we have been this year. And they're going to come to Anfield thinking, this Liverpool team aren't great. We can get something here. We can even get a win here if we want it. So they're coming with no fear. And let's be honest, guys. They've got the muscle memory of having won at our stadium last season. If you remember, this round of 16 game, the second leg was at Anfield last season too. And they knocked us out on penalties. Granted, it was only on penalties. But still, they came to Anfield and they won. So they've got that muscle memory of having won at Anfield. So they won't be afraid. They will not be afraid. If anything, they're going to be confident. They're going to be confident. And this is where we need to show what we're made of now. We're 2-0 down. We've got nothing to lose. What have we got to lose, guys? Nothing. We're not defending anything. We're not anything. We are 2-0 down. We need to just go out there from minute 1 to the end and just put it on Paris Saint-Germain. Give our all. Give everything we've got. The players on the pitch need to give everything they have in tomorrow's game. If we go out, we go out. Look, there's a way to lose games. I think you'll all agree. There's a way we lose games in football. I can accept a loss if I see heart, desire, and fight on the pitch. I'll accept a loss if I see that. What I will never accept is a loss and a lack of heart, a lack of fight on the pitch. That's something that's unforgivable for me. So if we go out there tomorrow, from minute 1 to the end of the game, we're running like crazy, we're fighting like crazy, we're getting stuck in, and we're giving Paris Saint-Germain a run for their money, I'll sit there and I think, okay. And if by the end of the night we're out of the Champions League, so be it. We went out, but at least I can sit there and I can feel proud of my team. You know what I'm saying? At least I can sit there and say, you know what? Yes, we went out of a Champions League tonight. Yes, it's disappointing, but you know what? At least we gave ourselves a good account. At least we went out there and tried and put up a fight against a very good Paris Saint-Germain side. That's what I want to be sat here saying tomorrow, regardless of the result. Do I think I'm going to be saying that? No, because I just don't feel like we have that. I don't feel like we have that want and the will. This is where our senior players are going to have to step up, the likes of Mohamed Salah, Andrew Robertson, Virgil van Dijk. Alisson would be as well, but he's unavailable. These lot were here back in 2019 when we did what we did against Barcelona. They've got the muscle memory. So they're going to have to galvanise the rest of these boys. Because the performance, it's going to take a miracle, let's be honest. With how bad our season's been, with the way we're playing football, it's going to take an absolute miracle. And this is where Slot needs to also take some accountability. We need to go in tomorrow's game. His team talk should literally be, lads, go out there and give it your all. Go out there, give it your all on that pitch. Go for them, make it hard for them. And if it goes wrong, I'm going to take the blame. I'm the manager. I'll take the blame. That's what Jurgen Klopp would have done. We know Jurgen Klopp would have done exactly that. He would have said to the boys, lads, we're 2-0 down. We've got nothing to lose. Go out there and give them your all. Give them a run for their money. And if it goes wrong, I'm the coach. I'll take the blame in front of the media. Will Arne Slot do that? I don't think so. I personally don't think he's the type of manager to do that. It's going to take a miracle. Like I said, it's going to take a miracle. Look, the atmosphere is going to be a big thing. Atmosphere has to be on point. It has to be on point for the whole 90 minutes. We've got to be singing. We've got to be getting behind the team, getting behind the boys, because they're going to need some belief. And we've got to try our best to give them that belief. We can't have this half-assed atmosphere that we see sometimes in the ground. You know, for 5-10 minutes it's good, and then it goes quiet. It's got to be rocking from minute 1 to minute 90. You know what I'm saying? If they score an early goal, I worry what could happen. Could we sink a bit? Could the atmosphere go dead? An early goal is crucial in tomorrow's game. An early goal for them probably kills the tie-off. But if we can score an early goal tomorrow, if we can start fast, if the crowd can be up for it, if the crowd can be motivated, if the team on the pitch are up for it, if the pressing's high, if we're suffocating them, if we get an early goal, it's game on. I feel it's game on because I feel if we score in the first 10, 20 minutes, we can then use the momentum of the crowd, use that Anfield aura, and we can put them on the back foot a bit and push them a bit more. But again, it all depends on what mentality and what mindset the players are going into the game off of. Paris Saint-Germain are a great side. It's very, very highly unlikely that they slip up tomorrow. Highly, highly unlikely. But if anyone can produce this comeback, I do think it's just. I do think we can do it. Do I think we will, though? Unfortunately, I don't. Like I said, I just want to see us go out there and give a fight, give a good account of ourselves. That's all I want to see at the end of the day. And what happens, happens, innit? It's a big game. This is our last chance at winning a trophy. If we go out of this, we're going to have a trophy this season, which I don't really want to see. But it is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is. Defensively, we've got to be on point. We can't afford to concede again. We concede again, it's over. Because they're going to be 3-0 up and that's it done. Defensively, Wednesday, we were getting cut open last week. Got to be a lot more solid defensively. 100%. Salah will come back in for this game, I believe. We need him. In a game like this, in a big game like this, on the European stage, we know we need him. 100%. I'd start Rio because we've got nothing to lose, honestly, and give him a go. Maybe he can do something. But the manager probably won't do that. So it'll be an interesting game tomorrow for sure. And regardless of the result, look, I'll be here supporting the lads. I'll try my best to get behind the lads here. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We've got nothing to lose going into the game. We've got to just go out there and give it a whole 100%. I'm going to give you guys my predicted starting 11 for the game now tomorrow. If I can just bring up my starting 11 for the game. A couple of changes, but not too much. For me, if we've got any chance in tomorrow's game, it's got to be a similar lineup to the Fulham game. I saw a bit more against Fulham, a bit more tenacity, a bit more energy, and all in all, a much better and improved performance. We've got to go something similar to that game. So, in goal, it'll be Mohamed. Like I said, Mohamed saved our bacon in that first leg. If it wasn't for him, we would have been in trouble. Big, big trouble. It would have been 4-5 easily. So, big him up. Put in a good shift last week. Hopefully, if we need him again for this one, he can put in a similar shift. So, he'll be in goal. Right back, I'm going with Jeremy Frimpong. We can't do a 5 at the back like we did last week against Paris Saint-Germain. We've got to chase the game. We've got to go for it. We're 2-0 down. So the lineup and the approach to the game from Slot has to be totally different. And for me, I think Frimpong will play at right back. Centre-back pairing, it'll be Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahim Konate. Can't rotate them. They're just going to have to play week in, week out until the end of the season. Like I said, that's a position that I think we need to strengthen in the summer. So we'll see what happens there. And Virgil needs to step up. This is a huge game. This is where we need his leadership. This is where we need him to command the team and get behind the team and galvanise the team as well, being the captain. So, big game for him and he needs to show something. Konate next to him as well. Defensively, those two were terrible last week. Absolutely terrible. Can't be that bad tomorrow. Otherwise, it's game over. It's curtains. Left back, I think Kirkes comes back in. Robertson did play against Fulham on Saturday and he had a decent game. But I think the manager was resting Kirkes for that one, just so he can bring him back in for this one. I would start with Robertson personally for this game. The experience, the know-how. He's been here before, he's done it, gotten over the line. I'd start him purely for that reason. But I feel the manager will look at it and think Kirkes is my first choice left back, and I'm going to play him for this game. So that's the back four. Moving into midfield, I've gone with Gravenberch and Curtis Jones in the double pivot. Now, last week Gravenberch was terrible. The first goal was a deflection off him, a minor deflection. Second goal, just let Kvaratskhelia run past him, nowhere near good enough. McAllister next to him was no better. The midfield of João Neves, Vitinha, and Jonai Emery completely swarmed and dominated Gravenberch and McAllister. They were nowhere to be seen last week. The manager made a big call. He dropped both of them for Saturday's game. He brought in Szoboszlai and Jones in the double pivot. Instantly made a difference. The energy level from them was more. You could see they were fighting a bit more. They looked a lot more bothered. And we just looked all in all a much better side with those two in the double pivot. And you could see it made a big difference. Gravenberch and McAllister came on and they did decent when they did. But there's not a hope in now. We should be starting both of them for tomorrow's game, considering how bad they were last week. I think Gravenberch gets brought back into the team though. I think him being our sixth for this season, should we say, even though he's not, he's going to get brought back into the team by slot. Unfortunately, even if he has a bad game, we know that. So I can't see a world where Szoboszlai and Jones are in the double pivot again. I think the manager brings Ryan Gravenberch straight back in. Next to him though, you got to start with Curtis Jones. Can't start with McAllister. Has to be Curtis Jones. Like I said, we need some heart. We need some fight and desire in this game. Someone who's going to give their all and not stop running. And he's the one. He has to play this game no matter what. And I think the manager will play him because for that reason alone. Again, in my opinion, he's been a lot better than McAllister this season when he's played. So for me, that's got to be the double pivot. Gravenberch and Jones. I would personally go Jones and Szoboszlai, but I don't think the manager drops Gravenberch for 2 games in a row. So I can see that being the double pivot. Moving up top off the right wing, I've gone with Mohamed Salah to come straight back into the team. Very surprised he was dropped for that first leg last week. And I'm also even more surprised he wasn't brought on at all throughout the course of the game. I don't see that happening this time around. Mohamed Salah's know-how, his ability to carry us through games at times is going to be vital. So I can't see him not starting tomorrow's game. And hopefully he can turn it up and turn it on, as we know he can do. So I'm going to go with Salah to come back in off the right wing. In the 10, Szoboszlai again. He's one of the threats for me. If we can get a free kick in a good area, I trust him to take it and hit one. So for me, Szoboszlai is going to be huge for the game if we can get the ball to him in the right areas. Off the left, I'm going with Florian Wirtz again. I can see Gakpo there, but I just took a guess there with Wirtz. I wouldn't be surprised if Gakpo plays there, but I'm going to go with Wirtz off the left. And up top, I think he'll be Ekitike. So that's the team I'm going with for tomorrow's game, lads. That is the team that I think takes to the pitch. We've just got to give our all. We've just got to go out there and fight and put in a good account for ourselves. We go out, we go out. Let's go out in the right way, though. So that's the team that I'm going with. Relatively strong. But again, Paris Saint-Germain are no mugs, like I said, so it will be difficult regardless. So my score prediction for the game, since we haven't reached the end of the match preview, people, my score prediction for tomorrow's game. I don't think we'll lose at Anfield. I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw. I think we'll score. And unfortunately, I just don't see our defence being able to keep their attackers out. I just don't see it. So I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw. I think we will give a good account of ourselves. And I think we'll go out with a bit of dignity. But yeah, I don't see us losing. But I can see a loss. I can see us just crumbling. I can see a win, but it not being enough. And I can see a draw. But I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw. I think it will be a good game for the neutral. But I think Paris Saint-Germain, unfortunately, will have too much for us and will knock us out. So that's my prediction, guys. A 2-2 draw. And that would then mean they advance 4-2 on aggregate over 2 legs. So that's my prediction, guys, for the game. Let me know your thoughts and feelings ahead of the game tomorrow in the comments, people. Let me know your score predictions. And let me know your predicted starting 11s for the game as well. Having said that, we've reached the end of the match preview, people. I will be back tomorrow with a watch-along for the game and then a match reaction after. So stay tuned, everyone. If you haven't already, smash a like on the match preview. Do sub to the channel. It is much appreciated. Do turn future notifications on so you know whenever future content drops. And yeah, having said that, lads, it's been a great one. And I'll be back tomorrow. Profit out in a bit. Peace. Catch you one in a bit.